Okay, we're going to start.
Okay, great. We'll call the meeting to order and ask the clerk if she would take a roll call.
Ms. Dunn,
I'm here.
Mr. Stovall,
Here.
Dr. Na.
Here.
Through the chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to take a look at the consent calendar. Would anyone like to take anything off of the consent calendar? Hearing no response, do you have a motion for approval of the consent calendar?
This is Dr. Na. I so move. I second the motion.
Okay, motion by Dr. Na, second by Ms. Dunn. Could take the roll, please.
Okay, Ms. Dunn,
Here.
Mr. Stovall,
Here.
Dr. Na.
Yes.
Through to the chair, motion
Actually,
Oh,
I think those were yes votes.
That was supposed to be yes. That was supposed to be yes.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Yes.
Miss Dunn led me astray, I have to say. Okay, let's go then to the public hearing portion of our agenda. First, I'd ask all who will be testifying to raise your right hands and respond to the oath. You do solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you should give in matters before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Okay, the record should reflect all responded affirmatively. So we'll go to S2316S, short variance for the Kern River Cogeneration Company in Bakersfield. Okay, and if the petitioner would identify yourself, please.
Tim Brawley with Chevron.
Okay, Tim Brawley. And Shannon, I think this is yours, so
Yes.
We'll turn the floor over to you.
Okay, thank you. Before we begin, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm the air quality specialist here at the district. In this particular petition, there is a change that we need to make. Every reference to Unit 1 in the staff report is being changed to Unit 4. And then reference to the permit S-88-1-23 is going to be updated to S-88-4-25. They've opted to use Unit 4 for this test instead of Unit 1 because of availability issues, I think, that they had. So the only other thing
Shannon,
then
if you
that I
wouldn't
would
mind, real quick,
Yes.
before we get started, can I make a comment on that? How would
Yes.
the district feel about us leaving that open-ended? Because so we have four exactly identical units, right? We're planning on utilizing Unit 4, but I just wanted to ask the question, if there were something that happened at the last minute and we decided to use Unit 3 or Unit 2, as long as we notified the district as it stipulates in this variance packet, would that be acceptable?
Probably not. This staff report specifies a specific permit or discusses a specific permit and conditions for that specific permit that you're seeking relief from. So, yeah, you'll have to stick with that permit and those conditions.
The reason why I asked this kind of goes to what you and I talked about earlier regarding a later variance, just for the general source of S88 or S511. So I just wanted to bring that up, but I understand.
Okay. Great. The only other thing I'll mention, and I'll leave it up to the chair to decide, this and the next petition are essentially identical. I'll present both or as much information as you need, but they are essentially the same issue and the same petition. So that being said, Chevron's Kern River Cogeneration Facility operates 4 75-megawatt General Electric natural gas-fired combustion turbine cogeneration units with dry low NOx combustors. Kern currently has a contract to operate one of the units at base load to provide consistent power generation. The other 3 units operate as peaker plants and are committed to be operational on demand. Exhaust from the baseload unit is routed through a heat recovery steam generator to produce high-quality steam for use in thermally enhanced oil production. Excess electrical power is sold to utility providers. In March of 2023, Kern began planning for an electrical system reliability test to confirm the facility meets necessary reliability standards to operate on the grid. The North American Electrical Reliability Corporation is an international regulatory authority whose area of responsibility includes the continental United States, Canada, and the northern portion of Baja California. NERC, as they're referred to, develops and enforces reliability standards and monitors the bulk power system to assure reliability and security of the power grid. In order to maintain compliance with NERC regulations, Kern must test their turbines at various run parameters to validate and or update the mathematical model of the turbine output, power output. The testing requires a turbine to run at variable loads that are expected to create excess emissions. Therefore, Kern is requesting a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules. In addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits, the requested short variance would be for 96 non-consecutive hours to occur sometime between July 20th, 2023 and August 3rd, 2023 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow Kern to operate combustion turbine unit number 4 with excess NOx and CO emissions while they conduct electrical system reliability testing. Kern has calculated that excess emissions from this variance could be as high as 150 pounds of NOx and 1,000 pounds of CO. The district believes the calculations are accurate and adequate for variance purposes. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Kern River Cogeneration be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 3 and 4. And that concludes the staff's presentation.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. And let me see, let me just, before we go to the petitioner, is there any objection to considering Shannon's testimony, the testimony for both S2316S and S2317S? Hearing no objection, we'll go ahead and consider Shannon's testimony for both of those hearings, and turn to Mr. Raleigh.
I don't have any further input. Shannon and I already collaborated on this initial report, and he represented it accordingly.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on either S2316S for Kern River Cogeneration or S2317S for Sycamore Cogeneration? Okay, hearing no public comment, we'll go ahead and close both of those hearings and see if we have, I guess we'll have separate motions for these. Do we have a motion on S2316S? That's the Kern River Cogeneration.
Okay. I move to approve Chevron, or is it
This is Kern River
Kern River
Cogeneration.
Cogeneration? Okay, Kern River Cogeneration's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number S-23-16S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. Variance shall be effective for the period of a non-consecutive 96-hour period to occur sometime between July 21st, 2023 and August 3rd, 2023 inclusive, or until Kern has completed the required electrical performance reliability testing, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 3 to 4 of the staff report.
Okay, and that that includes the amendments suggested by Shannon in his testimony. Okay, do we have a second?
Yes,
Motion by Dr. Nolan.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Ms. Dunn. Second by Ms. Dunn. And the clerk would take the roll, please.
Okay, Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
Dr. Na,
Yes.
Through to the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So that one's approved. S2317S, same testimony on both sides. Do we have a motion on, and that's for Sycamore Cogeneration. Do we have a motion on that?
Yes, I'll do that. Sorry, I move to approve to Sycamore Cogeneration Company, short variance as set forth in docket number S-23-17-5, no, 17S. Excuse me. With the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report, including the addition to the reports that we spoke about earlier. The variance will be effective for the period, for a non-consecutive 96-hour period to occur sometime between July 21st, 2023 and August 3rd, 2023 inclusive, or until Sycamore has completed the required electrical performance reliability test, whichever of these occurs first.
Okay, a motion by Ms. Dunn. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Dr. Na. Stephanie, will you take the roll, please?
Okay, Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
and Dr. Na.
Yes?
Through to the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, thanks. Both approved.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, let's go then to S2318S, Alon Bakersfield Refining. And if you would hit your microphone and state your name for the record.
Matthew Jalali, I spell that for you, Jalali.
Thank you, Matthew. So we'll turn then. I think Shannon, you're doing
Yes.
triple duty here today, so you've got that one too, I believe.
Thank you.
Floor
Yep.
is yours.
Good afternoon. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this afternoon is Alon Bakersfield Refining. They operate an idle petroleum refinery that incorporates a network of sumps, tanks, and piping to store, transfer, receive, and ship petroleum products. Various parts of the network are required by district rules and permit conditions to operate using a vapor recovery system to collect vapors, which are then routed for disposal. Alon operates the Area 1 wastewater treatment unit to dispose of surface, rainwater runoff, water from cleaning and maintenance activities, and other water from processes on site that generate VOC contamination. The district rules and permit conditions require the sump and tanks at the wastewater treatment unit to be controlled by a functional and operating vapor recovery system. Alon is in the process of inspecting, repairing, and replacing equipment to convert the facility from a petroleum refinery to a renewable diesel production facility. On May 17th of this year, Alon was granted a short variance to shut down the vapor recovery system at the Area 1 wastewater treatment unit in order to replace a 250-foot section of header piping. After the variance was issued, Alon discovered a minor leak in the natural gas system. Because natural gas is used as a blanket gas for the sumps and tanks, Alon will also need to shut down the vapor recovery system in order to repair the minor leak. To minimize emissions and the vapor recovery system downtime, Alon would like to complete both projects at the same time. They have opted not to utilize the original variance and are requesting a new short variance that will expand the scope of work to include the minor leak and shift the time to a later date when both projects can be completed at once. Alon will complete as much preparation work as possible before turning off the vapor recovery system. However, they still expect the vapor recovery system to be shut down for up to 30 days to complete both projects. Therefore, Alon is requesting a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules. In addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits, the requested variance period would be for 30 consecutive days to occur sometime between July 24th, 2023 and September 23rd, 2023 inclusive. If granted, the short variance would allow for the continued storage of VOC-containing liquids at the wastewater treatment unit without a functional operating vapor recovery system while they repair a natural gas leak and replace a 250-foot section of header piping. Alon will monitor water levels during the variance to calculate the vapors that are released. Based on a recent 90-day average of wastewater throughput, Alon has calculated that in a worst-case scenario, excess emissions could be as high as 2,304 pounds of VOCs. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Alon Bakersfield Refining be granted a short variance with the conditions, let me double check the pages on those. Conditions on pages, looks like 3, 4, and 5. And that concludes the district's presentation.
Okay, thank you, Shannon. Any questions for Shannon? Okay, Matthew, anything you'd like to add? No. Okay, no, nothing further from the petitioner. Do we have any public comment? We have none here. Fresno?
There is no public comment in Fresno or online.
Okay, thank you, thank you. With that, then, we'll go ahead and close the hearing and see if we have a motion.
I move to approve Alon Bakersfield Refining's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number S-23-18S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. The variance shall be effective for the period 30 consecutive days to occur between July 24, 2023 and September 23, 2023, inclusive, or until Alon repairs a natural gas leak, completes replacement of 250 feet of heather piping, and returns the VRS to normal operation whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 3 to 5 of the staff report.
Thank you, Dr. Na. Motion by Dr. Na. Do we have a second?
Second the motion.
Okay, second by Ms. Dunn. Take the roll, please.
Okay, Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Stovall,
Yes.
Dr. Na.
Yes.
Through to the chair, motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Motion approved. Thank you, Matthew. Let's see, then I'll go ahead and read the required statement inviting public comment. This time is made available for comments from the public on matters within the board's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. It's requested that no comments be made during this period on the items on the agenda. The public may make comments after each board agenda item during the time allowed for public comment. Additionally, state law prohibits the hearing board from acting on matters that are not on this agenda. Not seeing any public comment here. Anything in Fresno?
There is no public comment.
Okay, thank you. So with that, then, just say a great job by the staff dealing with this. You know, if this is the worst thing we have to put up with during our lifetime, it's not bad. So, but staff did a great job accommodating this, and you know, just for your reference, I'm not sure why it's doing this, but that little symbol on the screen, which had the red line through the camera, now has something that looks a little bit like a battery on the right side of that with what is maybe another red line. So if your camera has a battery, the battery might be out. Anyway, just
We will relay that message.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, but again, great job. Don't think we have any new business, and our next meeting is for August 9th. And so with that, then we can't see you, but we'll see you later, maybe.
All right.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Meeting is adjourned, by the way. So.